Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do like a get ready with me today. I did have some questions on my other socials about my skincare routine. So on TikTok, I kind of did like a PM get unready with me. So I'm gonna add my morning routine into today. I have very dry skin. Some of my skin concerns are large pores through here. Let's do a quick close-up so you guys can kind of see. We're getting real personal here, but I have really large pores in here. I have a lot of fine lines here and some sunkenness here. I do have some pretty serious hyperpigmentation right in here. I do have a lot of texture on my nose here, which causes foundation to separate quite frequently. And then these large pores right here and just general heavy texture. I also have pretty heavy texture right up here. Hoping the camera's catching this, but it's pretty severe right in this area and this area. So that's where I'm at as far as my skincare journey. So here's kind of why I was going into this. Some people were asking how to help avoid that. So I start my morning off with this, wash up first, and then I will jump into this toner. I know that toners are kind of controversial, I guess. Where I'm at, I have really, really hard water, like mineral hard, and I don't have a water purifier or a water softener on my system. So after I wash my face, it can feel a little dry and tight despite this being a sensitive solution. And I do know it's the water because I've used this in other places and I don't have that dryness, tightness feeling after I wash. So it's definitely the water. So using this on my face definitely helps kind of refresh and relax my face. And I personally feel better using it. So I know some people may not use it. Some people may say it's not necessary. I get what you're saying, but for me, in my situation, I prefer to use it. I do use this under my eyes. I will be honest with you, I'm not really seeing a difference. But anyways, so my next step in my morning routine is vitamin C. I use this from The Ordinary. I'll kind of put this up here. There we go. So I use this percentage of the vitamin C serum. This is helping with my dark spots, my hyperpigmentation. But the next couple of steps I'll just kind of show you so you don't have to be bored by these. This one, I'm having a hard time finding a replacement. I've already gone through one of these and I do really like it. It's the Alba Hawaiian Cream. This one has the vitamin E and jasmine. This is really, really calming on my skin. My skin gets irritated after I start rubbing it with my serums and everything else. So this is really soothing on my skin. So I really enjoy this. It plays very nice under my makeup. I have yet to come across a foundation that this one doesn't play nice with. And then the last thing I will do, of course, is sunscreen. This one is newer to me because I did run out of my old one. But I'm using this one. I do like a little bit more of a glow in the summer, so I will go and get some things done while the skincare sets, and then we will come back and we're going to create a look with the Morphe 9V Vintage Rose. This is a gorgeous palette for those purpley pinky looks that you're trying to create. This was my first Morphe palette, and I love this thing. She is beautiful. We'll put some swatches up here on the screen too in just a couple of minutes. Okay guys, so while I'm kind of waiting for my skincare to set here, I did want to show you, I did purchase a new brush set off of Amazon. This is by Jessup. I've only used these a couple of times this week, but I'm actually really, really loving it. So here's a few of them. They do have this red colored tip. At first I wasn't sure that I liked that. This is pretty Halloween-y and I'm freaking loving it. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But these are the brushes, and I will go ahead and link these down below. Again, I got this whole set on Amazon. I think it was like 18 or 20 brushes in total for less than $20. But yeah, so we've got all kinds of different bristles here, thicknesses. These are more geared toward cream products. But you can see the different sizes and thickness of these brushes. If you've been here for a minute, you've seen me use my Morphe 321 brush, but I think this might replace it. But I mean, this has just been a really, really nice set. It even comes with some tools here. You can see it's got a spoolie, you've got a liner brush. These bigger brushes, I think I'd use more for like highlighter. And then you've got an eyeliner brush in there. I love them. I absolutely love them. So far, most of my brushes have come from Amazon. My other brushes that you guys have seen me use, these guys right here, these are also on Amazon. I'll be happy to link them. And these, I still use these on the regular. These are MSQ. And they are extremely affordable as well, and they came in a huge set. Here is the box, and here's everything it comes with. And I think this one was like 8 something. So while I'm a huge advocate for the right tools and the right products, they don't always have to be ultra expensive. Like, I would die to have a whole Sigma brush set. I would. But I'm going to be frank with you guys, their brush sets are beyond my capability as far as affordability. And, you know, it's hard to justify that price when I can get these, and these perform exceptionally well, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, if I ever had the chance to get Sigma brushes, I'm going to. But right now, I think these are amazing. They get the job done. And even if they only last me a year, they were less than $20 for 18 brushes. So I'm happy with these. But if you're looking for new brushes, I will definitely link both sets that I have down below. And at least you guys will have a place to start. Okay, guys, I don't typically like to do my eyebrows on camera. However, again, on one of my other socials, I did get some questions about eyebrows. And I decided, you know what? We're all learning here. You're learning, I'm learning, but there's someone out there going, holy crap, help me. And I was at that point too. So I'm definitely not great at my eyebrows, but I have developed some techniques that I find helpful. So I thought we could do this part together, despite me not loving this. But I use 2 different pencil products. There we go. The e.l.f. Instant Lift. Okay, well, it's having trouble focusing. I will also link this down below, but it's the Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and I use this in neutral brown. The shade range is okay, but I do really like this. You've got the spoolie on one end, and I always start with this one. It's definitely not a fine tip. If you like a fine tip, I will show you the other part that I use for my eyebrows, but I start by brushing them up. I know a lot of people like Robert Welsh and everything suggest brushing them down first. It's weird to me. I can't do it. I will start with this eye pencil, and after I've brushed them up like this, I will start to just kind of fill it in, just broad strokes, just kind of filling through the middle here. And we'll use the other product that I have to show you here for a little bit more of a precise look. And I prefer to follow the natural shape of my brow, and I do have my natural hairs that come further down. They come to about right here. My natural hair does come down to about right here. However, I do feel like that drags my eye down, so I don't necessarily come out that far, but I do try and keep my eyebrow here and out and not too far down. This is the only measurement that I'll use. I go off the corner of my nose and off the corner of the blue color of my eye. And that's typically, I can't do this while looking at both places. That is where I will stop my eyebrow. So right about here. So I will stop the drawing here, even though my natural hair comes down to about here. So I will just continue to fill this in here. And like I said, this is a broader pencil, so I don't worry about being too precise with this particular one. Okay, so this is the other pencil I'll use. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills or ABH Brow Wiz. This one I have in shade medium brown. It's definitely a fine tip. So here's the tip that you're working with. Super micro tip. And let's compare it to the e.l.f. one here. So you can definitely see the size difference in these guys. We'll use this smaller pencil here to just define and do small little flicks here and just define some of those areas where I feel like that e.l.f. pencil didn't quite do what I needed it to do. And I will help bring this just to a smaller point over here so it looks a little more clean and precise. And then I will come back over here and just fill in that little portion right there. Okay. So now I've got it filled in to a point that I'm happy with it. I guarantee you I will be unhappy with it at some point in this video, and I'll go back and retouch up. That's typical for me. I have a problem spending $10 on eyebrow gel that lasts me a month. So I actually invested in this product right here. This is the Got to Be Glued Spiking Wax. It's supposed to be a hair wax. But I mean, I've been using this for almost 3 months. And typically, woo! Hold on. Thank goodness that's a hair gel and not like black mascara. Yikes. So what I'll do is I will actually just take my little spoolie here. I will scoop a little bit on my finger and then rub the spoolie with the product on my finger. I've already done it and I didn't record it, sorry. But I'll just scoop a little bit out on my finger, rub the spoolie in it. So now I've got it on my little spoolie here. And I will just kind of go through and fluff this up a little bit. And you might lose a little bit of that eyebrow product you initially put on, which is what I meant by I'll probably go back and touch up. But I do like a little bit of that laminated look. The laminated brow, if you don't know, is that really pressed, spiked up look. I kind of like it, but I'm not brave enough to fully rock it. But I do kind of spike this up like this. So that's how they look right now. And then I'll take the end of one of my other spoolies, or even that spoolie that came with that brush set, and I will actually drag it here across the top and just lay those down so that they're not spiked up everywhere. And just lay that down. And there is my eyebrows. Like I said, I may go back with the ABH Brow Wiz, the micro pencil, and do some touch-ups here and there. But that's the gist of how I do my eyebrows. And so let's jump into eyes now. So using my trusty Milani eye primer, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of this one on. And I use my finger. Some people use their brush. Do you, boo. Do you. Okay, guys. So here is the palette. Today I am actually wearing more of a purple shirt. Typically I will match my clothes to my eyeshadow because I use my little spinner to check my eyeshadow or pull my eyeshadow palette for the day. And this just got super insanely lucky. So we're using my new Jessup brushes today and we're going to test them with this shade in the crease. You know what? These are the three I think would be most efficient in blending throughout my crease. Because I do have the deep set hooded eyes, I think the smaller one of them would be best. So I'm leaning towards this one right here. So we're going to start with this one. And in that collection, this is the MUL 10. 2 little taps in there. This is a very pigmented palette, so I suggest starting light and building up. I just barely did 2 little taps into this and you can already see it there. Okay, so there's my crease color laid down. Moving to the outer corner color, going with this matte brown right here. And as far as the brush goes, I am feeling this is the Jessup MUL 14. We're going to give this one a shot. It's a little more flat compared to a full round brush to kind of help me get in here and lay that pigment down. Let's see how this goes. So as I'm dipping my brush into this, the placement of the eyeshadow on the brush really does matter. So if you just go, hello, Michaela. So if you're just going in and tapping straight on, that pigment's only going to be on the tip of the brush. So you'll have to make sure that you're applying just the tip to where you want that pigment to lay. For me, I'm wanting to lay that brush kind of flat and drag it down. So I'm going to make sure that when I dip this into the pan, that I'm dragging it like this to get it on that side that I want to mimic that exact same pattern on my eyes. And I'm doing this particular pattern because I'm trying to keep this area clean and clear of shadow. I'm trying something new here lately with my looks, and I just kind of, you know, we're experimenting. We're experimenting, we're playing. Place and drag down. Remember, that first spot you put your brush down is where the most pigment is going to be. So I'm just laying it and dragging it down. I do have some fallout right there. You can see that, and you can see that. I haven't done my base products. The only thing I've done is skincare, so I'm not too worried about that. And that was the reason I did not do base makeup first, because I do know this palette has a lot of fallout. So I am going to go ahead and switch now that I've laid down that pigment and I'm happy with the saturation. I do want to blend it through that crease a little bit more. So I am going to come back to that original brush that we had and just one light tap into that color. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending that and dragging that through the crease, and just to blend that crease color and this outer color together. And again, I'm holding my brush down towards the end of the handle to give myself a light hand. I naturally have an extremely heavy hand, which is another reason I really like this palette, because even though it is pigmented, as long as I use a lighter hand, I usually get a perfect color saturation. And again, I'm just blending and blending and blending here. There we go. And see, now I've got a more seamless blend. I feel like my lighting has changed significantly here in the last couple of minutes. It is cloudy outside. I am so sorry, guys. So now my lighting is all kinds of changed. But if you can tell and ignore the fallout, this looks a lot more blended and not so harsh, no harsh edges. Or this one where I just laid it down and haven't blended, it's just there. So this brush seems to be working well. Lighting changed, my ring light died. Oh, this week. Okay, where were we? We're blending. So yeah, I apologize for that lighting change, guys. I have a wireless ring light and it doesn't indicate battery percentage. It will just all of a sudden start to get darker and die, and I severely misjudged it today, apparently. And it's cloudy, so the back light is changing too. So let's keep going. I'm not done today. We're gonna get this done. Come hell or high water, we're getting this done today. Okay, so I'm just gonna come through and clean up that fallout really quick. This color right here, as that transition between this dark matte and that really, really light outer color. I think we're gonna pull into this one. Actually, you know what? No. We're gonna go into this one. This one is an MUL 15 from that same set. You can see that it's definitely flatter and denser. So we're gonna use this one to pick up that purpley brown shimmer, and you can see that this definitely has some kick up in the pan. So that's why I'm doing that tapping, just to get that off, so that way it's not too much fallout on my eye. But let's go ahead and, which side did I put this on? This side. Let's go ahead and just tap that right in here. This brush is so soft. All right, you can see that there's like a bronzy purple. It's the wildest color. I just love it so much. It's subtle, it's not super heavy, but it's definitely a bronzy purple. Ugh, it's just so pretty. I'm just wiping that off on my Sigma switch so that I can pick up the next color. Going to my favorite shade, this guy right here. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna start here in the inner corner. My heart like skips a beat every time I apply this shade. And this one I am going to overlap significantly into that transition shade we had, just so that there's no gaps and that it's a seamless blend and it's not just a stark light and dark divide. The last thing we have to do as far as using the eyeshadow palette itself is just the lower lash line. I will go ahead and do this now. I'm not going to do my base makeup until we're completely done with this look. So picking up my new favorite bullet brush, this is the MUL 13. Here she is. Here's compared to my Morphe brush, my M31. So here's what the two look like. This one just has a skinnier head, if you will, on the brush. And this one's a little bit stiffer than the Morphe brush. The Morphe brush has more give to it. That's been my go-to lower lash line brush forever. But since I picked this one up, I was almost nervous to try it because I was like, no, I'm just going to stick to my Morphe brush. But I tried it and now it's become one of my favorites. I'm dipping back into that outer corner shade here and just kind of matching the scheme that was on the top. And I'm just going to run this really close to that lower lash line right here. And then I'm connecting it to this outer. I like to squinch my eyes. That way I get like a seamless blend up into this corner and I don't drag it down too low and kind of ruin everything we just did. But I have to tilt my head down for this process, so I apologize if you're getting like a forehead shot. But just running this along this lower lash line and pulling it up into that corner. Just like that. So it just gives that nice blend right there. Okay, so here's where we're at with that. And now I'm going to go back and pick up that crease shade, this purple one right here. And I will pull that from where we stopped with that outer corner color and just lightly pull it in. Just so that way I have some color all the way across my lower lash line, but it's not super harsh on the inside, but it does have a nice gradient and a nice blend. Apologize if you hear some background noise and even some snoring. I have 2 sons at home. It is Saturday morning and I'm up early filming and they'll be up any second. I have one snoring next to me as we're doing this. We're gonna do some eyeliner. I can't not do it. It just drives me nuts. If you're new here, I use Maybelline Night Sky. It's just a single in a matte black shade. And then I will use this eyeliner brush. You know what? No. We have a new eyeliner brush from the Jessup set. So this is the MUL 19. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens with this one. We are testing new brushes, right? Okay, so just dotting this into that black shadow. I've got a mess in front of me. Okay, and so I'm just gonna dot this. Ooh. That is a precise line. Like, look how skinny this is. It just adds some darkness to the base of my lashes to make them look a little bit fuller. Yeah. I'm quite impressed with this brush too. Okay, and just for a little bit extra, I will actually use this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Last eye pencil in black. In black? Black. You can see clearly I've been using... Oh, my Lanta! Black eye pencil and white carpet. Don't mix, guys. Holy frick. But you can see how short this is. I used the heck out of this for my waterline. It has pretty good stay power for my waterline. Let's tightline. So I'm just running this back and forth. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do this together. Don't make fun of my mascara face. This is where we're at with that mascara, you guys. Let's even throw on a second coat. Yep, that'll do. Okay, so we're finished with the eye look. If you want to stick around for the rest of it, like trying my new bronzer from the Dollar Tree, and we can just kind of have a chit chat. This is just a bottle of water I have here on hand because I'm extra and can't be bothered to get up and actually wet my sponge. So I actually just, because I'm that lazy. But now that my sponge is damp, this is what I'm currently using. This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. This is the W2.5 Warm Light Medium. I just take a pump, one pump right here in the back of my hand. That was kind of messy. And now I take my damp sponge and I will actually just kind of dot this one pump all over my face. And I know I need a little extra coverage here. There's still some left on my hand. Doesn't mean I'm going to use it, but we're going to blend this out. Ooh, cold. Cold. I don't like to put it too close to my under eye. I will use my concealer for that. I use a very lightweight concealer because as we saw in the beginning of this video, I have extremely textured under eyes, extremely textured skin. And my smile lines right here, these right here, foundation wears out of that so bad. Every foundation I've ever had, it wears out of those smile lines. So I really pack some product in there. And I have learned that setting it with powder helps a little bit, but it's kind of absurd. But this one right here is a really great shade match for me. I know this lighting isn't really showing it. It looks super yellow on my skin, but it does kind of oxidize a tiny bit. I haven't heard anybody else talking about oxidation with this particular foundation, but unfortunately / fortunately, it does oxidize a little bit for me. But, so I'm all blended in here. Okay, so now we're gonna do some concealer. Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito concealer, and this one is in shade Light Beige, but this is the one I use on my under eyes. But with my heavy texture, I just put one dot here. And if I feel like I need any type of clean up from my eyeshadow, I'll actually stick a dot right out here and right out here, and I will use that to cut off that eyeliner, cut off that eyeshadow. I don't need that today. Those brushes really help keep things in control, and I'm really, really happy with those brushes and how they kept everything in control. So I don't feel like I need that extra dot. And I love to blend this out with my e.l.f. dual-ended complexion brush. Yeah, e.l.f. Complexion Duo. But this end right here is really, really nice for blending out this concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead, and if you noticed, when I applied this concealer, I looked down so I could find where it dips in right here. So it's got a severe dip, and that's where my discoloration is. And then if you're looking really close, you can see where all those fine lines and wrinkles are. I actually don't like to put concealer in those creases because it creases. It's natural. If you have a wrinkle there, your concealer is going to crease inside of it. So I have learned over the years that I don't need to carry my concealer up into those wrinkles. I just need to keep it where I actually need that coverage. And I need that coverage in this dip right here because that's where it's purple and discolored. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend that out. And again, I'm looking down just to make sure I'm hitting where it's sunken in. And I'm just going to blend that right up here into the corner and down in here, because that right there, this section is where I need that coverage. Then I'll take whatever's left and just tap it across here to blend my foundation into my natural skin color right in here. And then I'll pull it up into those wrinkles just so it all has a seamless color blend. So I actually do not set my under eyes with powder. I know, big gasp, but it just creates more problems for me. I have tried and tried and tried. I've tried every brush. I've tried my finger. I've tried those powder puffs, every bit of them. And no matter what I do, by the end of the day, I look like I have turtle skin right here under my eye. It's really scaly. It's ugly. And I could not figure it out. And one day I forgot to set my eyes and it looked great. And so I've learned, you know, after experimenting after that incident, that the powder under my eyes is what's creating that scaly, dinosaur-y, turtle-y skin look. And I just don't like it, so I don't set that anymore. So this is the bronzer that I picked up at Dollar Tree. It's LA Colors Matte Bronzer. And this one is Bronzed Beauty, the shade. I have tried this formula before, but not this shade. I'm going to pick this up on my Wet n Wild fluffy brush here. And I'm just going to dip into this. My experience with these is they don't have a lot of product in them, but they're only $1.25. So, I mean, but I've tapped into this a couple times. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to kind of, yeah. So, without, nice. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit up here on my forehead and just kind of dust that around here. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. There's definitely some shade, some color. Alrighty. So let's do blush next. I've been using the heck out of my Jurassic Park highlighters, but I think I'm ready for a break. Am I though? Or do I want to use it? Nope, I'm ready for a break. Pick this up at Walmart. This is the Relove brand. It's by Makeup Revolution. And it's this one right here. And it has they call this a contour palette. I don't know where they're getting contour from, but this is Sugar, this particular trio. And honestly, this is a beautiful bronzer. I've been tapping into this quite a bit. This highlight is beautiful. I love it so much. This blush is so crazy. It has its own like highlight in it, and it's like a gold. So can you see that? Holy moly, it is so beautiful on the skin. You definitely don't need a highlighter with this one, but here's the highlighter it comes with. It is beautiful. There's like no glitter in this at all. It is just strictly sheen and glow. But I mean, look at these two. How beautiful. I'm not using this today, but I had to share because I'm going to be using this highlight. But this was just so stunning. I could not show you. So now I'm grabbing my Dollar Tree blush. This is LA Colors Nude Glam Blush in Sultry. This one I have used before. It's fine. It's fine. And with that, I'm using the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. This is what she looks like. And this is really, really pigmented. So I'm literally just going to boop. And that is all I need with this blush. And I'm actually just going to kind of line this up here along my cheek. See, you can already see that. Like, shoo! I made the mistake of like digging in there the first time and plopped it. And whoa! So again, just one boop. And then I'm just going to slide this like right up here. So I don't actually put it on the apples of my cheeks. I will look kind of on and then from halfway through my cheek and then pull it up. And there's my blush. So if you guys need some cheap bronzers and blushes, don't sleep on the Dollar Tree. Okay, so going in for the highlight, I'm coming back into this trio palette that we just talked about. The trio is called Sugar. And I'm using the Jessup MUL 07. It came in that eye brush set, but I do think it specified that it was like a good highlight brush. We're going to try it. So I'm just going to drag down because I want it on the side of the brush. And we're just going to... Look at that. But look how pretty she is. She's just a real... It looks purpley in this light, which actually isn't a bad thing because, you know, we're more purple today. But in my experience out in the sun, she's definitely more of like an icy white color. Okay, guys, so this is the last step, is lips. Usually in the spring and summer, I'm a lip oil kind of girl or a lip gloss. This is these CoverGirl Yummy Glosses. I think these are around $7, $8, $9 at Walmart. I will link that down below as well. They have a lot of different shades, and I guess each one has a different scent, but there's like 3 scents that carry through. They smell great. They're really tropical. This is the one I'm going to be wearing today, so I'll go ahead and apply this one right here with you guys. But in the spring and summer, I'm just all about comfort and hydration. So these are the ones I gravitate toward. Now, these can be a little bit sticky if you apply too much. So typically what I do is when I pull it out of the applicator, I'll wipe off a whole side of it because it does have this really large doe foot applicator, which I really, really love. Or as Emily Noel calls it, a buck foot. But they can be sticky and heavy if you apply too much. But in my experience, as long as you wipe off an edge of that applicator, then you're fine. Like, no stick. They're really hydrating and they feel really good. And when they wear down and dry down, I don't feel like I need chapstick or I need to reapply. I do it because I want to, but they feel really hydrated, really comfortable. So these are definitely a huge win for me. As you can see, I am working through this one. But that's it with me today. I think we are all finished with this super chatty get ready with me / swatch party / whatever. But here's what we're looking like going out today. Here's the eye look. And then we've got, you know, a really faint blush, but a nice highlight, a nice bronzer, nice lip oil to go with this. So here's how we're going out the door today. It's been an experience with the lighting changes and product dropping and product breaking, but I think today went well, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you here next time, and talk to you soon. Bye.